Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today. So much is happening in the economy, and we get all this news about energy and how energy prices are exploding. So there's a ton of stuff to cover. That, banking, a little bit of everything. And today I'm at Ted Craig Regional Park in a city called Brea, California. It's a big, expansive park. It's got lakes, it's got ducks, it's got all this stuff out here. But I used to come out here for my son's cross-country tournaments because they would have these runs throughout the hills, and you'd watch the kids pass out, and it was quite enjoyable actually, seeing them do 3 and 4 miles on these hills. It's nice. Anyways, before I get into it, please hit the like button, please subscribe to the channel, and today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold Group, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Think about this, guys. Energy costs have gone up so much. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to send me a check for $2,300, okay? $2,300, guys. I'll take your check. Oh, I'll take your credit card too, now you mention it. That is what the average family is paying under the Biden administration. Since 2021, it costs us an additional $2,300 a year for our energy bills. Now, think about this. Guys, you don't get anything out of energy. You get to heat the same house, you get to drive to the same job, you get to use the same gas, same electricity, turn the lights on, but you're gonna spend $2,300 more right now. That is insane. That's absolute lunacy that if anybody sat down and put pen to paper on that, that's a destroyer of families right there, because it's too much money. Now, think about this. Gas, up 18%. You've got energy, you've got electricity that's up 22%. You've got natural gas that's up 24%. Where does it end, guys? Where does it slow down and have people go, oh, it's a good deal? No, it's not. There's nothing about energy costs. Oh, look at the little duckies. The duck family's coming across the bridge. I gotta wait for them to get across. There's the little ducks are walking across. So, isn't that nice? But anyways, one thing that's crazy is we're being told that we have to buy all these electric cars and that's the future and it's going to change all of our lives and everything's going to be great. They just passed a law and want to pass a law, They want to pass a law right now about e-bikes. We'll walk a little bit. We'll walk this way away from the ducks because I don't want to disrupt them. They want to pass a law to give you $1,500 towards an electric bike. Is that insane or what? Think about this. Some of you are getting up there in age. You're not going to see me on an electric bike. No way. If you make $150,000 or less, you can get a tax credit that would apply towards an electric bike and save you off the purchase up to $1,500. That is insane, guys. That is absolutely nuts that you would buy an electric bike that could cost $8,000. Who is buying these bikes? Who is buying these bikes? Ask any nurse, okay? I had dinner with a nurse recently who told me that, yeah, in the emergency room, all the injuries, people on those electric bikes not wearing helmets, riding into cars, riding into traffic, young, old, fall down, just a mess, okay? But these bikes cost up to $8,000? Are you kidding me, okay? The Volkswagen company just announced one of the cheapest electric cars that can go up to 240 kilometers, guys. It's about 120 miles for $25,000, okay? Not a deal, not cheap, to say the least. The UK just put a mandate through this week that by 2024, there has to be a huge percentage of cars that are electric only to get to net zero carbon, okay? And the problem with this is that it's going to be forced down everybody's throat. Nobody can afford these cars right now. Nobody can afford to charge them. Nobody can afford the electrical bills right now. So, John Farley, the CEO of Ford, he said, yeah, we're trying to get in this electric race, but the biggest problem is the batteries. and how expensive they are. They're too expensive. Okay, genius. You know, again, these articles are below. So Mr. Rocket Scientist, the CEO of Ford, can't figure out why, you know, the batteries are so expensive. Okay, maybe you shouldn't be selling battery-powered cars if you can't figure it out. Elon Musk keeps lowering the price of Tesla vehicles to be more competitive. And he says, oh, we're still making money when we do this. And Ford's losing money on every car you buy. When you buy that car, they are losing money. That's a company I want to do business with. So you're seeing this more and more and more. The mom and the papa duck are third across the bridge, third way across the bridge. I'll go back when they make it across. So anyways, you're seeing that happen. You're seeing Elon say that he can be competitive for less money. Here's a couple of fascinating things about Elon Musk lately. He just admitted in an internal memo in Twitter that he overpaid for the company by about $24 billion. He paid $44 billion for Twitter when it was worth about 20, is what he determined. And it's a real, you know, okay, it's not like you and I paid $300 more for that. Yes, he's the richest guy in the world, but that's insane that he did that. Now, because he fired 7,500 of those employees and got rid of so many people at Twitter, he's starting to announce new stock options. The stock options are based on the company's valuation at $20 billion. And people are freaking out. It's worth more than that. Well, no, it's not. He would know, okay? So they've got a, 6-month vesting. You got to stay there for 4 years, all this stuff. And they get all these new shares that he's got in the company. So kind of fascinating, but needless to say, it's a mess. Rivian is an electric car company that, if you've seen these trucks, these Rivian trucks, they're beautiful trucks, but they're not trucks. Trucks load stuff, carry stuff, install things, put ladders on. No, these have cargo areas for you to put your ladder underneath the truck, and you can store things in the front of the truck, okay? Well, ask Chase Merrill what he thinks about his truck. Chase Merrill, was a Ford F-150 guy his whole life. Great article below. And he saw the Rivian and was just talked into it by the salesman and thought it was the greatest thing. And then 2 days into it, he thought it was the greatest purchase he had ever made. Met his family up in the snow, was just ripping through the snow with this new Rivian truck. And he was worried because he lives in the Adirondacks and he was, out in the middle of nowhere. What's he gonna do? But he's got electricity, so he wasn't concerned about it. Well, until the car hit a snowbank and just died. Done. Not like, nothing. Dead. So he had to call a tow truck to the Adirondacks, to the middle of nowhere, and they came out to fix it. And needless to say, car's dead. It's a big, it's a multi-ton paperweight at this point. And he's got himself a bill to fix the battery for $2,100. And he's furious about this. I went from being an advocate and a fan to thinking that I had totally wasted my money. Yeah, no kidding. You think that? That's interesting. Okay, why don't you guys go buy an $8,000 electric bike? Who is doing this? Who is doing this? I saw a guy ride an electric bike in Seal Beach, California, about a month and a half ago. And the only way to describe it was an electric bike with like a basket out front, big though. And he had the kid and the dog in the basket. I'm like, wow, that is really cool. That's really nice. It's nice to get one of those. The dog seems happy, you seem happy, the kid seems happy. You listen, these are really pricey, okay? These are $7,500. And I started laughing because I thought he was an imbecile at that point. And he didn't get why I was laughing, how outrageous that was. So you're starting to see these electric golf carts like Moki and things like that are out there. And those are 25 grand for those things that have a range that only goes certain distance, certain speeds. Can't take it on the freeway, to say the least. But what do you guys think about this? I mean, we're being force-fed all these electric vehicles, and we want to clean up the environment and save the world. And you first, okay? That's my motto. You guys do it first, and I'll follow you, okay? So we're saving the world, with a $75,000 vehicle, one person at a time. Okay? You know, people pulled up and said, my Tesla can make fart sounds. My Tesla can sound like it's revving an engine. You know what I mean? Isn't that cool? Isn't that great? That's worth your $1,700 a month payment. It's awesome. I'm proud of you. Who's paying your electric bill? Who's paying your gas bill? Who's paying, you know, the natural gas bill? Come on, who's doing it? You are. Okay, it's outrageous, guys. It's gone up so much. There's no end in sight to this right now. And inflation is not slowing down. John Williams and Shadow Stats talking about inflation being around 16% right now. That's a number I believe right now. The Fed, you know, Bill Ackman's people, hey, we want to get inflation down to 4%. That would be manageable. It's not going to be there for a long time, guys. So share your thoughts on this stuff about the energy costs. There's a ton to cover on banking right now. And I want to know what you guys think about this so far. So let me know. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You know, right now with the stock market, things are very precarious right now. And I'm sure when you look at your 401k, you're worried. Well, you know what you need to do? You need to take matters into your own hands, and you need to call Patriot Gold today and get an IRA or 401k that's backed by physical metals. Call them at 888-330-1431 today and get a free investor guide. It's absolutely no obligation, and they will answer all your questions. Recently, the Wall Street Journal had an article, and the title was, "Don't just sit there, do something." You need to take matters into your own hands, because this was a warning to investors that things are not going to be status quo. You've got to protect yourself, protect your family, and protect your future. The best thing to do is look at what metals have done throughout history. Right now, experts have said that we could be in a metal super cycle right now, and gold could hit as high as $3,000 an ounce. You don't want to miss out on that. Call them today, 888-330-1431. Let them know that I allegedly sent you guys. Get this free information. So many people have done it. I love Patriot Gold. I'm not only a spokesman, I am a client of Patriot Gold, and I absolutely love the company. Call them today, 888-330-1431 before it's too late. Just checking you guys out. Now remember, guys, we're being told how great the economy is. Everything is wonderful. We shouldn't have a care in the world when it comes to anything. And one thing that's very popular right now, which is exciting, is people that are buying houses are using a new contingency to get themselves out of the deal. And this is called an employment contingency. So people go out, it's out of the Wall Street Journal, they buy a house, put a deposit down, and what happens if they lose their job? Well, we can back out of the deal. If we get laid off, we're done. We can cancel the contract. And the seller has to agree to this. Oh, you think you're gonna lose your job? No, I don't think so, but I'm worried about it. So much so that this is the most popular contingency being added in addition to, we don't have the money, you know, my grandma didn't die and didn't leave us the money, you know, all these different fake excuses. Employment contingency contracts. Now, this goes one step further to good old Disney. Bob Iger's in charge, and there is a brutal letter that this guy wrote. The employees, they just laid off 7,000 people, okay? Hey guys, we just laid off 7,000 people. I know it's gonna be tough, and I want to let you know that in addition to those 7,000, we're gonna lay off an additional $7,000, and over the next 4 days, you're gonna find out if you're gonna stay here or not. Huh? Okay, I thought this was it. No, could be more. Your managers will let you know. You know, be aware of upcoming emails to let you know if you're on the list. Now, if you're on the list and you're getting laid off, you need to get yourself ready and understand that we're sorry that you're losing your job. And we know that it's going to be tough for you right now, and you'll get your, you know, exit package will be sent to you. But, you know, good luck. Isn't that nice, guys? Isn't that nice? Good luck. Now, for those of you staying here, it's time to pull together, do more, What can you do to be a better employee during this time? Huh? Okay, I should go look for another job someplace else away from Disney is what I should do. Remember the happiest place on earth? That's what they call Disneyland here. The happiest place on earth. That's a joke, guys. It's an absolute travesty. And they did this to themselves. They've made things so completely unavoidable that they were going to eventually have a problem with all their streaming and all the different problems that they've had lately, politically and everything else, okay? This is just the beginning of this. And I feel sorry for anybody losing their job, but man, oh man, would I look at different places right now. So very interesting right now with all these different streaming services like Netflix and, Hulu, Amazon, Reels, Tubi, all the stuff that's out there right now. There are so many places right now that were making shows and making series, and now they're just canceling them. They're, where they used to just produce money, throw money at everything. No, they're just getting rid of things left and right. So it's just a matter of time until we see a real shakedown on all this stuff right now. You don't see series go, a long term anymore. Just until they run out. Like Succession, that's an HBO show that's only going 4 seasons. This is the final season for that show. And 4 years is considered a long run right now. So very interesting. Do you guys watch stuff like that? Do you look at Pluto TV? Just like the Planet Pluto, Tubi, Tubi, it's all free. You can watch hundreds of channels for absolutely free. That's what I always tell people. People are, how do I save money? How do I watch TV? You do stuff like that. Use the rabbit ears for the local news, and then use Tubi, use Pluto, things like that. Check them out, guys, because they're absolutely entertaining. But when you travel and you want to give a kid something to do, hook them up with Pluto, hook them up with Tubi also, okay? Share your thoughts on all this stuff so far. But do you know anybody that bought a house and lost their job during this time? Inevitably, we're going to have somebody that's going to say that. Do you know anybody that works at Disney right now that feels uncomfortable? There's so much entrepreneurial spirit in this country where people go out and start new gigs all the time. So many people worked at these tech companies, and they are definitely starting new ventures all the time. The people that worked at the tech companies that are getting laid off, those are the communities that are having the biggest, were booming real estate markets. Now they're not. Those are the people that are having real difficult times right now, because in Silicon Valley and in these other areas where people don't have jobs right now, they're starting to have to lower the price of houses to get by, which nobody thought they would ever have to do. So reality is hitting home for these people, to say the least. So let me know, share your thoughts on this stuff so far, on what you think. There's no quick fix to anything in life, but with your health, with fitness, with losing weight. Let's use that one too. People, hey, it took me 20 years to gain all this weight and I want to lose it in a week. It doesn't work that way. Same thing with financial problems right now, and big regional financial problems. This is a great story that's below. It talks about how we start with a banking crisis and then it ends in a recession. Guys, if you do not think, I've said this dozens of times, that we are in a financial downturn right now, we are in a full-blown recession right now, without a doubt. What we're heading to is going to be much worse, okay? First Citizens Bank, they just bought Silicon Valley Bank's assets, and all the little regional banks that have stock shot up yesterday because it's great news, guys. Problem solved. What are you thinking about? This is nothing. Then you hear stories about First Republic Bank where they courted rich people. When I was screenwriting, for some reason I had Variety and Hollywood Reporter and things like that. I would constantly get on the email list for First Republic, and they would say, hey, if you come into some money, here's the best place to put it. They did a job to recruit people. They would have actors and actresses and things like that, movie producers, that they would take pictures, and you'd go in their lobby and they would be laced throughout, the banks of all these famous people that have their dough there. And that was their thinking with this, and that if we get these rich people in here, everything else will fall into place. Okay, well, there's some issues there, guys, because you need to run the business. You need to run the bank no matter who you're doing business with. That's what you need to make money, and you need to do it profitably and deal with the regulatory agencies that they didn't really deal with. We are seeing so much with people getting themselves into debt right now, that right now more millennials are using buy now, pay later, and they're not calling them programs. The article below is great. It talks about buy now, pay later schemes that these people are falling for. They're falling for these programs just to get some. Oh, look, I can get the bike. I can get the electric bike if I buy it now, pay it later. PayPal has these programs. High-end stores have these programs, but they are being used for things as cheap as $50, guys. You can get the makeup now and pay for it over 3 payments over the course of 3 weeks. That is insane. The largest group of people that are doing that are the millennials. The smallest group are the baby boomers that are like, I don't need it that bad. So that's an issue right now, guys. But the idea of all these programs and everybody just saying it's fine, we'll kick it down the road, is not how it's going to be dealt with. When you look at the finances and you look at how upside down these banks are, this is a major concern. It really is. And we haven't seen anything yet because there hasn't been a solution to this yet. And they've created this problem, and they're going to create the solution that we're all supposed to live with and be happy with. And it will be a brand new digital dollar that we'll have shoved down our throat. Mark my words, Jamie Dimon and Chase, he's all against having cryptocurrency and everything. There will be a Chase coin someday. Mark my words on that. But it'll be different because it's run by, the guy that wants to run for president now. Isn't that funny? Think about that guy running for president. Wouldn't that just be ridiculous? So, needless to say, there won't be campaign spots on iAllegedly. Share your thoughts on all this stuff so far. Is there anything that you guys buy that you do the buy now, pay later? It used to be, 90 days same as cash, 6 months same as cash, things like that. Do you know that over 80% of those people, rarely would they pay that off? They would wait, and then they'd have all the interest that would accrue from that. It happens all the time. People are well-intended, their intentions are good, but they get caught up in the moment and life gets in the way and they don't pay their bills. That happens all the time. So, share your thoughts on this stuff right now, but are we in a recession? That's the question I want to ask you. Just use the word recession. Put it in the comments. Recession, no recession. I don't think so, whatever. But I think we're in a full-blown recession right now. We are seeing a phenomenon in the real estate market that people have not seen ever before. And experts are saying that this is a real big deal and that we have to look at this. The first thing is that prices on the West Coast in real estate are dropping a lot right now. But on the East Coast, you're seeing prices still go up in some markets. Isn't that crazy? Something that we've never seen before. Basically, a complete opposite. You're not seeing things drop across the board. You're seeing that markets are hot in certain areas. Okay, you're going to see it. I mean, I still think that you're going to see a lot of builders go out of business. I had a meeting today with somebody in the foreclosure industry, and they're telling me that they're concerned about the builders between here and Riverside County that are building all these new homes that 3 years ago the houses were $300,000, now they're $650,000. They're not completed. People are putting deposits down. People are buying these houses, and now the housing prices are starting to drop. That's crazy. You're starting to see Vegas, where you're seeing housing prices have dropped basically $100,000 since their high for the average house. How would you like to be the person that bought a house and 3 doors down your neighbor bought theirs for $100,000 less? That's sickening. It would make you nauseous to think about that. Okay. Ducks hanging out. Janet Yellen, who I prefer, love to call her Grandma Yellen. Grandma Yellen admitted something, that she's concerned about a market downturn and a financial collapse in the economy, and that she called Henry Paulson who ran, George Bush's treasury, and he dealt with the financial collapse of 2008. There is a great HBO movie called Too Big to Fail. If you can watch it, look it up, guys, because William Hurt played Paulson. It was a great movie, but it talked about how precarious everything was and how they just held it together at the last minute. And Janet Yellen, who is totally concerned, and all of us, each and every one of us, should have zero faith in this woman, because I understand getting advice from other people. There's nothing wrong with that. I do it every day of my life. But the idea with this, and that she had no remedy, she had no leadership. It was just, what would you do? Well, things are bad. Things are going to get worse. You need to, to get ready, because it could completely collapse. Okay, that's satisfying. This wait and see for the end of the world is not good, guys. It's not. I don't want to be in that position. I have told you guys to get yourself in, multiple bank accounts. Make sure you have a little cash. Look at gold, look at silver, look at ways to protect yourself. Look at different money market funds, things like that, and having your money spread out. Because I'm telling you this right now, the rich people will take care of themselves. But when it comes to us peasants, they're not going to take care of us. They're going to let us twist in the wind and call it capitalism. Okay? It's not capitalism when you take care of your friends. It's something else. And it's a club that you and I are not a member of. But they're going to take care of themselves just like they did with Silicon Valley Bank. But we are not going to be protected, when this mess happens. But for her to go to Paulson, read the article out of the New York Post. It's fantastic. It's excellent. When you read this article, it just shows you that, no idea. What happens during an economic collapse? What should we do? Any suggestions? Yeah, duck and cover. Remember those duck and cover drills? I could never understand. Well, if there's a nuclear blast, aren't we going to get taken out? I always raise my hand. Hi, Mrs. Bullen. Can you answer this question? My third grade teacher. No, I'll protect you when you put your head between your knees, Dan. Okay? Danny, do it. Okay? Shut up and quit asking questions. Okay? Duck and cover, guys. Remember that. Okay? I'm going to finish this video with these last couple stories. And have you guys ever ordered anything through Uber Eats, where you buy it and they just bring it to you and put it on your front porch? I'm always entertained by that, because when I've gone to restaurants before, I've seen some restaurants. I went to a Thai restaurant where we counted, there was 34 orders sitting there. Okay, and these say hot food, getting cold, waiting for the driver to come pick it up. One lady came and picked up 9 orders. 9. Okay, so it'd be bad enough to be stop number 1 because the food was sitting there for 20 minutes. And then when you get to number 9, what's that, 2 hours later? Think about that. There is a thing called ghost kitchens, where these restaurants sell their merchandise and their food from different locations. And Uber Eats is cracking down on this because they're sick of these places that have basically selling their hamburgers at different names, different locations, and shipping it from one place. And they basically shut down 300 locations recently for that. Isn't that interesting? But the future of dining is going to be these ghost kitchens, where one kitchen will make multiple foods. There is a very famous YouTuber who's probably the biggest right now, Mr. Beast, who went out and had Beast Burger. And Mr. Beast, during 2020, when he started this, he went out and went to different restaurants and said, you guys make the Beast Burger and ship it out, and we'll have Uber Eats deliver it. Pretty impressive. So they're cracking down on things like that. You can have a location, but they don't want you to have multiple locations for this. The final thing, which is kind of a Big Brother type thing, they anticipate that within 2 years, most new vehicles sold will have a mandatory apparatus in the car that will be able to tell if you've had alcohol and you've had any liquor on your breath, and it would make it so the car would not start. Now, I'm all for stopping drunk driving, but doesn't that seem kind of Big Brother-ish to you guys? I mean, just a matter of time, hey, blow in this before you can start your car. Isn't that kind of nuts? Okay, so share your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about all the stories today, because there was just so much. It was all over the map. But please don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Onward and Upward, guys. Don't forget, if you want to reach out to me, best place is hello@iAllegedly. And we have a Patreon channel. Patreon video just went out. And so much happening. Don't forget to sign up for the email list. The link is below. It's the first link below. And we've got an email going out this week as well. Okay? I will see you guys very soon.